Hi everyone, welcome back to Wanderer's Footsteps. I hope you are all good. So for today's video, I chose to talk to you about a question that I answered on Quora a few days ago. It was a question that really intrigued me and made me think about all this lockdown we are having all around the world and how it can affect our own happiness. So just for those of you who don't know, I'm a big fan of Quora. I spend many hours every week answering questions on this website. I find it a very amazing community where people can share ideas about different topics and even help each other whenever help is needed. So what is the question that I want to talk about today? I received this question about 8 days ago, and it says, what was the most unusual moment you've been through and how did you make a good thing out of it? I answered it on Wednesday, and the first thing that came to my mind was the lockdowns that we are having in so many countries due to the coronavirus. I also decided to make a video out of this question in order to discuss better my answer and to explain better my point of view about happiness and lockdown. So this question was very interesting because it also made me think of the idea and the concept of happiness during a lockdown. Unfortunately, I see many Facebook posts nowadays or on other social media platforms about people who are sad that everything is closed, that they cannot go to bars, to restaurants, to museums, and all this stuff. And at the same time, they are counting the days for the confinement to be over in order to be able to live their lives again. And I think that this is very unfortunate because it means that people are wasting times of their life. They are wasting months and weeks of their life waiting for the coronavirus to be over in order to be able to live again. And so they are not really, they don't really realize the power within themselves. Actually, what I want to say is that the real happiness, it comes from within. Of course, we are always happy when you go to bars and see friends, or when you go to a museum, or when you go to a restaurant. But all these are temporary. The real happiness comes from within. If we are happy within ourselves, this is the most important. And this is what differs the two types of happiness. There's the hedonistic happiness and there's the hedonic happiness. The hedonic happiness is the happiness that comes from within. When we ourselves get to know each other, get to know ourselves basically, and also decide to be happy no matter the circumstances. The hedonistic happiness is a happiness that is related to materialistic objects, to an exterior factor. For example, if I don't go to a bar, if I don't go to a restaurant, I won't be happy. And this is something that is very sad because this is something that is temporary and one day is gonna stop being there and we're gonna feel sad if we can go to a restaurant, like what's happening now with many people. So what I want to say is that even if you are in a small apartment surrounded by four walls, you should not forget that we as humans, we are all the universe. We are the universe incarnated in this human body. So basically, if you cannot go outside, all you have to do is go inside your mind. I know perhaps I'm saying stuff that are not really logical for some people, but through meditation, through thinking, you can see wonders. You can see stuff that you haven't even thought about. Because the whole universe around you is at the same time inside you. So what you can do is just to sit with yourself and try to discover yourself. Try to get to know yourself better. Basically nowadays, and unfortunately, we are living in a society where every day we are bombarded by advertisement from all sides on social media, on the internet, that tell us how to be happy. That tell us that if you don't buy this product, you are not gonna be happy. As if they know what is happiness for us. They are trying to convince us that with their products, we can be happy. Even though each person is different. And all these products that are being sold through this advertisement are all in the hedonistic part of happiness, which is the part that is only related to material things. So even if you get this product, you will be happy for some time, but then you will need more and more and more because it's not the real happiness that comes from within. And there are millions of dollars that are being spent on this advertisement. So it's true that it is very hard to resist them. However, in my opinion, what you can do is really to sit down just for half an hour or an hour per day and to think about yourself, to think about all the stuff that you liked when you were a child, all the stuff that made you happy when you were young, and all the stuff that you are grateful for in life. In my last video, I spoke about how we as humans are always passionate about discovering new mysteries and solving new mysteries. So how about during this lockdown, each one of us takes a bit of time just to be able to understand and get to know him or herself better? Because I think, in my opinion, us human beings are the biggest mystery in this universe, are the biggest mystery to be solved, because we all have these questions. Why are we here on earth? What are we doing on earth? What is the purpose? Why am I born at this time, and why am I not born, for example, 1,000 years later or 1,000 years before? These are all questions. What are the things that really make me happy in life? So I think it would be worth it just to spend a little time to think about this stuff. And I know that this is what I did during this lockdown, and this is what brings me back to the question on Quora. What is the most unusual moment that you had, and how did you make the most out of it? So this is what I did. The first few days, now just to tell you that now it's been a month that I've been in lockdown. So during this month, what I did during the first days, I decided to write on a piece of paper all the things that I love to do, that make me happy, all the things that when I was a child used to make me happy. And what I did is that I began reading books that I haven't read for some time, that I wanted to read for some time. I began watching series that I watched about 15 years ago when I was young. I refelt the feelings I had when I used to watch them when I was very young. I began to write stories because I always liked to write stories. And for many months, even many years, I stopped writing stories. I forgot how happy am I when I write about magic, about love, about the mysteries of the universe. I began writing stories every week again. I began reading books. Yeah, I said about reading books. I got to know myself better. I meditated more. And now it's been a month that I'm in lockdown, and I am so happy. I'm not saying that I am happier than before the lockdown. I'm saying that I am happy. I can be happy during a lockdown and without a lockdown. In all cases, because I decide to be happy. So just the last thing I want to say, know that happiness comes from within. Do not underestimate yourself, and do not wait for outside places to be open in order to be happy, because this time is part of your life. This corona situation, if it lasts 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, all these are parts of your life. So either you pretend to be a victim of the corona, or you live your life and you know the power within yourself. So that's the message I wanted to say for today. I hope you liked the video. If you liked it, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you next time. Cheers.